Once you get your exhaust out, my exhaust is in multiple pieces, V-band, so it's going to be a little bit different. You want to take your cross member out. You probably have different hardware here, as mine's not original. You're going to have probably 8mm there, 8mm there, and I believe these are E-Torques on the factory. Take all these out and take your cross bracket down. All right, after your cross member is out, next you need to get your back heat shield off. You're gonna have one 8mm there, one 8mm there, 10mm, 10mm, 8mm, 8mm. You're gonna do that one, and that one, and then on the other side, that one, and that one. And then your back heat shield cover comes out. Okay, once your heat shield is out, now you've got your big nut on your disc, and you got a 13 and a 13. Loosen these so that the differential drops down, or loosen these so that the drive shaft drops down a little bit. You will be taking them out, but don't do it just yet. All right, so once you get your 50mm crow's foot, 50mm half-inch ratchet on that nut, reverse thread. So if you're facing the back of the car, your handle is going to your passenger side. The bolt is not that tight, should not be that tight. One hand. You're gonna loosen it all the way until you start to see the threads on this piece showing coming out of the nut. Once everything is loose on the drive shaft, before you start popping your axles out of your differential, you're going to have 4 10mm on this bottom panel. Take the 4 10mm off and remove the panel. Alright, once you got your nut completely loose, without drive shaft going back, you should be able to wiggle it by hand, just like that. So now that it's loose, you're going to go back to here and fully take out both those 13s. All right, so once you got your two 13s out, the drive shaft should wiggle. 2 hands on it and push it towards the front of the car. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Keep jiggling. If it gets stuck, it's okay, because as you can see, there's a keyway, and keyway with grease, so you might have to apply a little pressure, but it will come off. So now drive shaft is completely disconnected from the differential. You're going to want to take a bungee and tie that up out of the way. I understand you might not have a lift at home, so you might not be able to tie it to there, but literally take the bungee, you can pull it up against your gas tank. Passenger or driver, I'm choosing passenger because I still have my pipe in the way, but either side will work. You need this tool number with this tool number or a suitable tool to be able to pop your axles. You're going to slide it on in the ring. Once you get it in the ring, take that, bottom out. You need to keep positive pressure on it, swing, hit. I already popped them, but you will get a gap. This side, same thing. Once you get it popped, you will get a gap between your dust shields. You're going to take a plastic tool and put it behind it, so when the diff comes down, these do not reseat. If they reseat, you got to push the diff back up and start all over again. Very important. Once they get popped out, put something plastic between that and that so the axles do not reseat. Good. So once you get them popped, see how you got some space? You got some space. I use this and that. I literally will keep it there and keep it there. When you lower the axles will push into the diff and it'll pinch these in. We're gonna come back to show you that. So after you get your axles popped, you got an 18 mil and 18 mil, back them out so that they're still in here holding it up. You got a 16 mil, and then you're gonna take a 21 with a 3/8 extension on a 1/2 inch ratchet through the back. You got a 21 nut back here, and then you got a 21 here. Start loosening everything up. All right, so this is going to be the challenging one for you guys because, again, I realize you're probably doing this on your back. You want to support the diff. You do not want to be a hero and try and catch it on your chest. You're just going to get trapped under the car. Whether you use a floor jack or a transmission jack that's on the floor, highly recommended. Support it. You're going to take your 18 out. These two will drop down. Your nut is already off of that. So now we'll go up a little bit, and then you pull out your 21. So now we are up to the point where we're going to take our spacers, put it on one side, and we're going to take the spacer, put it on the other side. Now you will either, hopefully you guys have a friend doing this, because I don't think you can do it by yourself. You are going to go down and make sure the spacers stay in there. That way the axles do not reseat themselves. All right, so now your differential height is lower than the subframe. Make sure you still have room. If these are loose, hold them in when you start contorting the differential to get it out. What we're gonna have to do now is we're gonna take off the trans stand. You're gonna wanna lift the passenger side up, tilt this side down, and while you're doing it, you want to put something in here. Don't damage this. This is a protective cover for the inner seal. Put a little pry bar in there and start jiggling this axle out. So, got it out a little bit, but it comes out easy. Pry bar or something. Literally all you gotta do is push and see how your axle pops out. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. And one side axle out. Tie it up and make sure, you guys probably aren't going to hit, but you don't want to nick this on your control arm or anything because it'll start to rust and rot and then you could snap the axle. So after this side's out, then we're going to do the same thing on the passenger side. Put something in between it and just pull the diff to the driver's side of the car. Once the axle's free, take the differential out, and you're halfway there. Okay, so you have a couple choices. I always want to make sure that I have a backup differential, so a little bit different. I just went out, I bought a new back cover case. If you got a G30, there's your stampings, there's your part number. Every one of these bolts is 140 Newton meter torque. As you can see, both covers match. This is your drain and your fill plug. This is the only way to get fluid in and out of it. Before you put your cover on, I got an extra differential as a dummy. Craig, hold it up. You are going to want to run a bead of RTV around there, on the inside, down, on the inside, down, inside, the whole entire way around before you put your cover on. After you get your RTV put on, the cover will go on and you will tighten all your bolts to 140 Newton meters. Okay, very important. Here is your input shaft to your differential. You want to take a little bit of True Glide, anything like brake slide pin grease. This is pretty much a little bit too much, like that much. Just put some on the keyway, not in the threads, just on the keyway. So make sure that it's lubricated. If you want to do the other side of the drive shaft as well, that's perfectly okay. You do not want to put this together dry. Alright, once that's lubricated, you want to take your seal cover caps out. And remember, you do not have fluid in it yet. Fluid is the last thing that you're going to do. Before this lock ring goes in, if you don't have Loctite in here, that's okay. Just go get a bottle of Loctite and put a dab of Loctite on the threads on the inner portion of the nut. Now you can talk.
No Loctite on it. No seals.
Alright, so now when we're going in, we're doing the passenger side first. Be very careful. John, here, come in. Right here, you want to make sure that you're not going to catch that inner lip of the seal. Otherwise, your axle seal will start leaking. Once that's there, you're going to go and you're going to seat it together. So now you got driver's side completely seated. Next, we are going to move over to the passenger side and do the same thing. Spin it, go up your lift, align it, and before we put it in, I'll show you again. This is the part that you got to be really careful of. This is what seals on this part of the axle. If this hits it, rips it, nicks it, or anything, your axle seal is going to leak. That is bad. Pay very close attention when you're putting this in that you do not nick it. You could put grease on it, something. I've been doing it a while, so the lube and the oil from the old diff is fine, but if you're doing it your first time, just be mindful, put some grease on it. All right, so now we're lifting it up. As we're lifting it, we're inserting this at the same time. You see how this now is going in straight. We're just gonna keep going up. And again, I got a trans jack, but you can do the same thing at home with a floor jack. So just bump it up, and you see how the axle literally will slide into the differential. All right, so now once you get your 18, 18, and 21 in, when this goes up, both your axles are gonna end up seating themselves back in and tighten up all your hardware. There is a torque spec. To be honest with you, make it tight, don't make it over tight. I will get you a torque spec, that way you guys know where you want to set it if you want to go there. So once you got everything installed, just to double check that your LSD is working correctly, all your axles are in, you should be able to come to one side, spin the tire, and now your opposite back tire is moving in the same direction. Backwards, same thing. Having LSD is so much nicer than having an open diff. God forbid there's something wrong with it. If you do this, that back tire will spin the opposite way. But since we get quality products here, everything's going to work out the way it should, and now you have the LSD differential in your G30 BMW. Okay, so we got axle in, 18 in and torqued, 18 in and torqued, 16 in and torqued, and 21 in and torqued. 13s are not tight yet, just holding drive shaft up. All right, this is one of the most important things. This nut gets tightened to 100 Newton meters. That's it. After it's tightened to 100 Newton meters, with the Loctite inside the car, or inside the nut, you cannot drive the car for an hour. It has to sit for an hour and the Loctite has to cure. After that, you can drive the car. But be mindful, 1 hour after you tighten this nut to 100 Newton meters, the car cannot be driven for. All right, once your differential's installed, exhaust is gonna be back in, heat shield's gonna be back in. Don't forget 8, 8, 10, 10, 10. Make sure all your screws are in. After your hour of drying, you have an option. This is the BMW fluid that you need. Unfortunately, it's not cheap, but it is what you could use in it. If you don't want to do the BMW fluid, it needs to be within 75 weight to 80 weight. I believe you could use 75/90 or 70/90. There's also, I think, a 70/80 or a 70/100 that you could do, but I just recommend use the OEM fluid 75 W80, and we're going to fill it in that hole. Drink your oil like I did, and this is what you're going to use to fill it. You're going to suck it up out of there, put it in, fill it. When it's full, fluid will come draining out. But the required amount is 800 milliliters. Each one's 5. So you're gonna have a little bit spill out, but 2 bottles is what you need to put in the diff. All right, once you've filled it with your 800 milliliters or 2 bottles, this is torqued to 60 Newton meters. You will have some drip out, completely normal, that just means it's full. Take your torque wrench, and you're done. All right, this is till 4th gear. LSD is Fourth gear, 3,000 RPM. Just launched it. No issues. Smooth as silk. Walking for days. I wish my name was 11. My signature would be in the street. Keeps going. Keeps going. Keeps going.